Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining another webinar in the webinar series for the Cybersecurity Awareness Month. Today, we are going to talk about how to ensure business continuity before, during, and after a disaster. In the past 8, 9 months, people have been struggling with business continuity in one way or the other. There are various types of businesses who can continue operating even without a brick and mortar office. There are other instances where power outage have disturbed the businesses and their ability to work in their brick and mortar office or even remotely working from home. So today we are going to talk about how and what any business can do in a situation like this. That is what the business continuity is all about. It's not about disaster recovery. We will cover that in the subsequent slides. I have prepared a slideshow for you, and each and everything on a business perspective, we are looking at that. Before I forget, thank you for all for joining. And last week's $25 winner was Wendy Roberts, and if she is there, she will be the one who is picking up today's winner. So, tips to ensure business continuity before, during, and after a disaster. That's the topic for today. Let's see what are the common types of disaster. So there are two types of disasters. One is natural and the other is man-made. So earthquakes are natural and fire is both man-made and natural. Flood, again another natural one. Negligence is always a man-made disaster. So is deliberate. That is the one which is somebody, either a hacker or somebody from inside getting into systems or disrupting the business one way or the other. So what is the impact on businesses? So there are multiple types of impacts. Can a business survive just by backing up data? So when I'm talking from an IT perspective, people more or less ask me, hey, is it just about backing up data? No, it's not. Data is essential, but you need much more to ensure that your business can continue operating when your building is flooded, employees are stuck at home without power, and you don't know how to reach them. Phones are not working, or you don't have a method of communication. How can you do that? There are three main components of business continuity. One is the resilience. Resilience is the part of designing systems which are resilient as possible and it can face disruptions. If I'm talking about computers, you are having multiple servers where one goes down and others still working. That is one form of resilience. And recovery. If your server goes down or if there is no power in the building, how do you recover? Do you have a generator? Do you have an uninterruptible power supply? Or do you have a different location where you can move to in case your building is damaged? And that is the contingency planning. The implementation of procedures to go into another site where you can recover easily from the disaster. So what is the business continuity and disaster recovery? There are two major comparisons between business continuity and disaster recovery. So business continuity is related, but not exactly the disaster recovery, as I explained before, and both involve helping business to recover from unexpected disruptions. So disaster recovery is limited only to the process of actually recovering and restoring the systems or data following disruption. Business continuity is a broader term where It is not just about data, it is about the whole business as an entity. So where do we begin? You need to have a communication plan in advance. Keep your customers informed, customers as well as vendors. If you deal with vendors, they need to know that, okay, this is what is happening. We are temporarily relocating to another place, and that is what it is. Talking about technology, most of the companies, businesses nowadays, technology depend on the IT. Uh, what if there is an IT disaster? A server is damaged, or your internet connection is gone, an outage in the a fiber cut out there in the street, which can impact the business of yours as well as the neighboring businesses. Continue operating however possible. Is that an option? How it is possible if your primary internet service provider is facing an outage? What can we do? And finally, test, prove, retest it, and that is the idea of the business continuity plan. So develop a communication plan. How will you ensure employees are safe during and after disaster? You need to have the communication plan in place. You will have to communicate essential information to employees following the event. First, and make sure that your contact information of all the employees as well as the vendors are up to date. So keep your clients and customers informed. As you can imagine, it is very critical for ongoing success of any business. If you are forced to shut down the doors, you need to let them know. Same is incoming communication as well. If there is a mail hold, you will have to make use of that. And if there is somebody to collect the mails every day, then you need to do that. All these are very important. So next question is, are you ready for an IT disaster? When I'm talking from an IT perspective, are you ready for that? So how long you can survive without your data? This is very key. If the data servers are down, how long you can go without access to your data? Most of the time, the answer is zero. You will have to have immediate access to your data. Have you addressed change management as part of your mission critical recovery objectives? Is change management procedure process, it has to have in the recovery objectives. Anytime there is a change, you need to record it. What is the change? How are you going to do it? That need to be recorded. All businesses need to have a run book, which is basically says a high-level summary of how to operate if something happens and who has access to it. Have you tested a disaster recovery capabilities and ability to fail back? Most of the businesses in March, they had to face this kind of situation, and most of the businesses were doing it. And that's how those who were successfully implementing a disaster recovery plan or a business continuity plan were able to flip the switch and start employees working from home and making at the same time continue operations. However possible, continue operations. IT downtime is only one factor, but there are many other considerations. Again, depending on the size of the businesses. A large business have its own complications, and companies like large businesses, they already have a tested plan. In this case, small businesses are the ones which do not have a tested plan, and make sure that all your business have a disaster business continuity plan in place. Your facilities, you make sure that you have power, and fire season is coming and there can be some power outages. Rolling power outages are insurance. A common norm That's nowadays, another major component. In October and early November. Every business has some sort of intercom systems, business insurance. Well, if your business have an internal alarm protect you from disaster, or make sure that they are functional, and do they can operate it remotely, to relocate to a different location. So all these things comes to play. And training. Last but not the least, training is very important. Everybody need to understand how to do work remotely or from another location if there is a disaster. Test the plan and move on with that. And that's what, again, test the plan. Thank you very much for attending. And if you have any questions, I'm open to answer that. And there are some templates which are available. Email me. We can share the templates, small for business continuity plan for small businesses, as well as a checklist for business continuity. Thank you and have a nice day.